right, everybody. It looks like we are going live here on Twitch. Tech Reformer's doing a little dry rehearsal, or dress rehearsal, like we like to say, or dry rehearsal. Maybe you'd say that. Um, I'm just here with my dog at the end of the day, Friday, and just checking out Twitch, making sure that we can record, making sure that we can have pretty good audio, making sure you can see my screen. So if you're out there chatting, hopefully we'll see you. Um, we'll see you. Just put a little +1 in the chat if you're on here following me. It'd be great to see you here live. We're excited to have a good show. We're going to have Chris Hagel from Peninsula School District in a couple of weeks. Next week is our actual first launch of the channel. We're going to be covering a lot of things. We're going to be covering our new classes. We're going to be covering digital training, and we'll talk a little bit about our upcoming schedule, which includes Chris the following week. We're going to be broadcasting live from the COSN conference that's in Seattle. So looking forward to doing that. All right, so one thing I want to do here is just walk you through our website. So let's jump over to the website. Here we are. We're at our website. And you know, the website's looking pretty good, but it's looking a little dated. We're going to probably have to update that for you folks out there. But really, it's pretty good. It has everything that you need to be successful on AWS. Specifically, getting started on AWS, that's one of our strengths. I can talk about our onboarding. Our onboarding, we call it Onboarding Plus because we have a lot of offerings that help you when you're first getting into AWS. You know, one of the first things that we like you to do is just see if you're ready for the cloud. See if you're ready for Gen AI. We've got a couple resources for that. We've eating our own dog food here. We've got a chat bot built into our website, which is kind of cool, but we won't work with that right now. So on this page, hopefully you can see it pretty well. We can talk about our AWS Cloud Adoption Framework. You can download that and read it. You know, that's pretty cool. We also have a couple of assessments that you can do. One is called the Cloud Adoption Readiness Assessment, or CRA. That's something you can run yourself with your team to see if you're ready to go. And then we also have the K-12 Gen AI Maturity Readiness Assessment. You know, that was built by our friends at COSN and the Council of Great City Schools. So that's a really good resource. So even before you're getting started on AWS, you can see how ready you are. You know, how much training do you need? So let's look at some of our other offerings. I won't really go through everything here because we just have a short time together. But let's look at, why don't we dive into our migration evaluator, or some folks like to call it the OLA. It's the online license assessment, I believe. So not only do you figure out what would be the best instances or virtual servers to run on AWS, you can find out what the costs would be, what the licensing is going to be. So it's really pretty good. We do that for free. We put a VM on your network that can see your internal virtual machines, and we assess those, because a lot of times on-prem, you know, you kind of overbuild and you've got some extra space because you want to be ready for the days that you need them. Well, in the cloud, you can have just what you need, and in the future just easily get more if you do indeed need it. So a lot of times your on-prem is over provisioned. And this assessment will help you with that. So that's another thing we do to help you get onboarded. Once you decide to get on AWS, one thing that we do is our AWS Quick Start. And Tech Reformers is really known for doing that because we get you set up on AWS correctly, and that way you don't have that technical debt down the road when you decide to build out more and you realize you don't have the most secure foundation. So that's one thing that we do, is set you up correctly. We can even implement the landing zone accelerator. Ironically, the accelerator actually takes us a little bit more time, but we build everything by code. So all changes aren't done in the GUI, but they're done via code. So that's a good option to consider. Everything that we build is on Control Tower, which puts an extra layer of protection using common standards. Let's go over to our live session here. We're just going to look and see if we've got anybody chatting. I don't know if I see anybody in our chat room. If you're here live on Tech Reformers, go ahead and give me a shout out, please. This again is a dry run for our launch next week. All right, so let's go back to our Control Tower. So with Control Tower here, we are able to put that extra layer of protection. Two great features it has is it builds specific auditing and logging accounts. So you have a separate log and a separate audit trail that's separate from your accounts, so that if something happens to those accounts, you still have a separate protected area for doing some investigations to see what may have happened. So there's a bunch of steps with a quick start, but we're happy to help you with that and help you get started on AWS correctly. So that's a quick overview of our Onboarding Plus. We are also with you as full partners. We're going to talk about the well-architected review. Once you're on board for a while, we will review what you have. And then you folks who are bringing, maybe you've got one account, we will review that account with you to make sure that that's architected correctly. You know, one thing we look at is security, for instance. Are you not using the root account? You don't want to be using that for your everyday work. Do you have MFA in place? Do you have any single sign-on? So those are all things that are part of our Onboarding Plus. The next thing I want to talk about is our training, because not all your AWS partners that you might have a chance to choose from are also training providers. So we help you get up to speed on AWS. And we've got three ways to do that. So a lot of times we start folks with this idea of free training. So AWS Skill Builder is great to, the regular Skill Builder is great to get going. You can learn all the basics that you need with free training. Once you're ready to ramp up a little bit, or if you need help and the free self-paced training isn't motivating enough for you, you can start right away with in-person classes. So let's take a look at that. So a great class to start with, we have school districts, organizations, government agencies that start out with this AWS Technical Essentials. That is a one-day class. I love it because it's a good amount of material covering all the basics of AWS, but it also includes 4 hands-on labs. So your technical folks can get their hands dirty right away. But then you can see we also have more advanced classes. So we've got DevOps engineering for your serious DevOps folks. We've got Architecting on AWS, which is a 3-day class. It's basically a deeper dive than this Technical Essentials. So we've got quite a few to choose from. You can see the prices there. Now with our customers, if you work with us, we often have specials that give you this training at 50% off. So being a Tech Reformers customer, we can get you into these in-person live trainings for a discount anywhere from 10% to 50% off. All right, so we've got the training. We also have a Skill Builder Team, which we're not going to watch this video right now, but Skill Builder Team is a pretty cool setup where you not only get the digital training, but you also get the digital classroom. Now, the digital classroom is the exact same curriculum as the live instructor-led classes. So you get a live video, somebody like me, certified instructor, teaching that 1, 2, 3, 4-day class digitally that you can watch at your own pace. It has the labs. It has everything that the in-person class will have, except it's on demand. Now, you don't have the back and forth questioning and some of the advantages of the live class, but it's a pretty good value, and for folks that like to learn on their own, it's a great way to go. So I can talk to you more about that. AWS is an authorized reseller of that. We can give you, again, a better deal than pretty much anybody else can if you're a customer of ours. And then we also have solutions. So our solutions are an implementation of an AWS service customized for you. So for instance, one that we've had a lot of luck with is Amazon Q Business Quick Start. So that's like our AWS Quick Start, but it gets you going on Amazon Q Business, which is a fully managed AI platform. So that could be a whole nother Twitch stream for me to be talking about that. So we've got our quick start. Again, on our site, you can kind of learn more about that. You can listen to Matt Wood and let us know if you have any more if you need any more information about that. So again, 3 main areas. We've got onboarding, training, and solutions. If you want to learn more, meet our team, see some of our partners. We're on some public sector contracts, which are great. And then we've got our blog, and our blog is on the home page, or you can get to it over here. It's at the bottom of our page. You can see some of our customers here. So here, I just talked about Amazon Q. So how could you, as a school district here, or any organization, how could you transform your operations with Amazon Q? Do a little demo. We made a chat bot called Daisy that could kind of get you going to see what some of the possibilities are. And Q Business is something that is changing literally by the month with more capabilities. So that's our blog. So that's a quick overview of our website. That's what we're doing for our dry run today. So hit me up in the chat right now if you have any questions. Right now I don't really see anybody online. We've been on now for about 14 minutes for this dry run, which I think is pretty good. Technically, I think we're working pretty well. So again, love you to hit me up in the chat. Come to my website or our website if you have any questions. Would love to engage with you. So I want to finish off. Today, our newsletter went out to about 300 folks that we're in contact with. A couple things that we talked about. One is our new classes. So I showed you some of the classes there. So AWS is having developing new classes really focused on generative AI, on machine learning, as well as some more developer classes. So I talk about some of those. I talk about our 50% discount that's really open to anybody right now. If you get our newsletter, or I think we've got it on our website somewhere, you can get access to that code. If you can't find it, again, hit me up in the chat or reach out to me directly from the Tech Reformers website. So we talked about that in our newsletter. We talked about Tech Reformers is going to be at the COSING conference. That's the Consortium of Networking for K-12, but really it's a K-12 tech leaders organization. And this year it's in my hometown in Seattle. So we're pretty excited about that. That's starts on March 31st and runs for 3 days. Tech Reformers will be there. We've got a table. We're going to be launching some exciting products. One particularly is AI based, which I'm pretty excited about. So we talked about that. And then finally, we talk a little bit in our newsletter about our migration evaluator. We're doing that with a few organizations where we help you for no cost get going. I talked about that a little bit on the website as well. All right, with that, we're at about 15 minutes. That's about the length of our show today. So I'm going to be out for today. So stay safe and see you online. Talk to you later.